Everyone, welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Valia Bhatnagar and I'm with you with the area of ABFM. We are ending our module D completely. This is the last chapter, that is Special Purpose Acquisition Company. What is Special Purpose Acquisition Company, everyone? I would say Special Purpose Acquisition Company or SPAC is one of the companies which are hired to take over some other organization. It's like a supari giving to someone, a mafia don telling a normal person going to a mafia don and saying that you have to kill that person. SPAC is a sophisticated form of it. You are asking a sharpshooter that this is the company which you have to target and give it back to me. But it shouldn't die, right? You just have to take over and give that company to me. That is Special Purpose Acquisition Company. This is called Special Purpose Acquisition Company. Done, everybody? Moving on to the first question for today. Everybody, what has led to the drop of new SPAC fillings in the second quarter of 2021 compared to the first quarter? What has been the point that SPAC had increased? Has decreased in this specific area? Yes, it is because of decreased regulatory oversight or poor market performance or increased disclosure norms or lack of investor interest. Basically, now, in this case, what's going to happen? The reason was increased disclosure norm. When there is too much of a disclosure norms involved now, then the organizations are not able to build up an SPAC because SPAC is built in such a way that there's no problem there, right? Done. Here comes the next question, everyone. What type of financial information about the target company is typically included in the proxy statement of SPAC? अच्छा, they create a proxy statement, है ना? And what are the particular financial information which is about the target company? Target company मतलब the company which they are trying to kill, है ना? Obviously, they are trying to kill a specific organization, right? Only the performer financial statements or only the financial statements or performer financial statements are required, then historical statements are required, then the only the management discussion analysis is required. See, when you're trying to take over some other organization, you want to know in and out of it. Till the time you don't really know in and out of it, how will you slowly and steadily, and that too sheepishly, you have to pick up the entire organization? How would you do that part? You can do that part. Pro forma financial statements, historical financial statements, and management discussions. All these things are required. When you're trying to find an organization about the target company, these things are definitely required. Acha, everyone, if you like this particular session, first of all, please share this particular session and also like it. Done? Done? Okay, let's move on and look at the next question, everyone. What is the purpose of the proxy statement? Why do we create the proxy statement? To seek permission from the regulators to provide shareholders with information regarding the proposed merger and seek their approval, or to outline the terms of the merger agreement, or to disclose financial information about the acquiring company. Why would they do it, everyone? What's the basic purpose of doing this? The proxy statement filed by SPAC, that too in terms of merger. Basically, the SPAC is created so that the competing firm or a target firm can be engulfed by the stronger firm. And for that SPAC, once it has completed its task, then even SPAC merges or it liquidates after handing over the particular details to the, or after handing the entire company's control to the main holding company, right? So the particular answer is, when they create a proxy statement, it is because to provide the shareholders with information about the proposed merger and seek their approval. Because you are investing money into some other organization, na? Then everyone, in this case the correct answer is actually B. Okay? We are trying to provide the shareholders with information about the proposed merger. You're trying to tell people about the proposed merger and you're trying to get approval of them. Only then you will issue the proxy statement. Done? Please like this particular session, everyone, and share it as well. What information or what type of information does the proxy statement or uh, proxy statement contain besides details of the merger? मतलब it contains all the details कि अच्छा one organization is merging with the other organization, all the basic stuff details. Is it information about SPAC formation, information about SPAC performance, or information about governance aspects and financial information about the target company, or information about the shareholder voting rights? What's going to be the answer, everyone? What type of information does the proxy statement? Acha, we have done a similar question already. This provides information about the governance. Basically, when you're trying to take over an organization, you are trying to find out what happens in it. Information about the governance aspects and the financial aspects of the target company has to be known, in which you are trying to acquire an organization. You have to acquire it slowly and steadily. You know? So once you have accumulated the enough majority of shares, then you can reach out to the higher level, right? Next question. Okay, what happens to the funds in the trust account if the acquisition target cannot be found within the specific time frame? They have a time frame within which the SPAC has to buy the other organization. See, this is the main company. It had an interest in this company, but it cannot go directly. So it creates an SPAC and tells it, go and get this organization for me. There's a specific period through which they have to complete. If it is not completing, then see, SPSC doesn't have its own working or something. There's no specific operating of its own. So how will it sustain for a longer period? There's a time frame already defined based upon this particular situation. So they are used, whatever what happens to the funds or in the trust account if the acquisition target cannot be found. So whatever the organization has collected, where will it go? This is used to pay off the existing debts, to distribute back to the investors, they're invested in stock market, or they are used to pay the management and the team salaries. What's going to be the answer, everyone? See, normally now, if someone has given you money, in this case, they had paid money to the sharpshooter to kill someone. As soon as the particular person went there, the sharpshooter thought, "Arey, this is my own." So he came back, he gave the realities, and then he is standing in front of the organization. So the organization says, "कि ठीक है." In this case, what exactly is happening is the organization is prepared for a specific purpose. It is prepared on a very genuine purpose, that is to take over the other organization. If it is not able to acquire the other organization, then what will it do? There is only one thing that it can do, that is to return the money back to the people from whom they had taken the funds. है ना? They can do this part. In this case, the entire controversy comes to an end, isn't it? So they are distributed back to the investors. Done, everyone? How are the strike prices of warrants typically determined? So strike prices are basically the prices in terms of warrants. Warrants are basically what? Warrants are right to pay in future. ठीक है ना? मतलब right to give shares in future. अभी तो currently नहीं दिए. In the future we will. What's the answer? Based on the company's future earnings or set arbitrarily by SPAC's management team based on the share price at the time of IPO, determined by the vote among the shareholders. How do you find out, everyone? What's the answer? Based on the share price of the IPO. That's how we can define warrants. Warrants is basically right to give share in future. Currently we don't have. Maybe in future we'll give. है ना? Done. So in this case, the correct answer is C. Hanji. The answer is C, everyone. These are interesting questions, but SPAC was a particular topic which was asked so much in the examination that even I was astonished. Ki hardly a 10-page chapter. If you open up your Macmillan book, now this is hardly, barely total 10-page chapter. Done? Okay, now let's move on. Here comes the next question. What is the significant disadvantage of investing in SPAC IPO compared to traditional IPO? Actually, traditional IPO matlab you gave money to an organization, the organization is going good, you get money, you are happy, they are happy, है ना? But what about an organization which is not even interested in operating? It has only one base. It wants to cover this target company bus. That's it. It is not having any commercial operations or anything. So the problem is lack of regulatory oversight, uncertain future performance, limited disclosure of investment use, or potential for high returns. In this case, the correct answer is limited disclosure of the investment use. Okay, in this case na there is an exposure of course, but na you don't know what exactly is happening with your money, who's taking it, what's happening, because later on it comes to know कि oh this money was used in that acquiring of another firm. वैसे तो when this SPSC liquidates na, the main firm gets a lot, so the main firm is able to eliminate one of its major competitors, or you can say they can have a rugged expansion, they can do all that, right? How do SPSC sponsor benefit from an earnout component? मतलब what do they do? SPSC sponsors is basically the person who's actually sponsoring and telling SPSC go buy that organization. Benefit from the earnout, whatever money they are making, they receive additional warrants. They are entitled to percentage of profits. They gain more shares if the stock price meets the specified target, or they receive preferential treatment during mergers. The truth is they gain more shares if the stock price meets the specified targets. They already have share of the company already, everyone, because they are the sponsors. They decided कि अच्छा I will sponsor this company so that they can buy the organization, है ना? Done. Okay, here comes the next question, everyone. What is the primary selling point of SPAC when seeking financial backing from investors? Reputation of the management team, potential profitability of the target company, history and revenue of the company, regulatory compliance of the company. What is the primary selling point of SPAC, everyone? Primary selling point matlab the first and most important selling point when seeking financial backing. They are looking forward towards people giving them money. Please give us money. We're looking forward to something. Now the point is these organizations, if they tell in the very beginning, pata hai, I want to buy the other organization, that sounds so weird. Why would someone give them money? है ना? Done? Now the correct answer in this case is reputation of the management team. The primary reason that you want people to join your organization is this. Done? Can you see the answer? In this case, what are we dealing with? In this case, the strongest part that I can see is that in an organization, you have to sell yourself. When you're getting an IPO, you have to show that I'm a big organization, you give us money. And then this money can be used anywhere. That is your choice. There's nothing wrong in that. You know? Okay. Next point. What type of financing does the SPAC typically organize to fund a portion of the purchase price of the business combination? Achha, we're looking forward towards a business combination in venture capital investment, debt or equity, then general government grants or the crowdfunding. See, in our country, the crowdfunding is definitely not there, to be very honest. In India, crowdfunding doesn't exist. Government grants, why would government grant you to help you to kill another organization? The answer is debt or equity financing. In India, we have Competition Act as well. When you try to merge the bigger organizations so that they can rule the market, that particular thing sounds good, but that doesn't really have a good impact. So everyone, the correct answer is B. Acha, one more question. What is the purpose of forward purchase contract in context of SPAC? To establish an SPAC charter and the registration rights, the outline of to outline the terms of IPO agreement, to commit affiliates or institutional investors to purchase equity needed for the DSPAC transaction, or the to specify the parameters of the warrant agreement. What is the purpose of forward purchase agreement? Matlab, we are not purchasing right now, but we'll be purchasing later on, right? So in this case, what are we doing to do? This is basically to commit affiliates or institutional investors to purchase equity needed for TSPAC. The answer is C, everyone. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Balya Bhatnagar, and I'm with you with the era of ABFM. Okay, so what were we dealing with? Officially, we are starting with our series, which is the revision series for this particular topic altogether, right? We are done with major part, rather, the entire module, each and every module on the basis of each and every chapter. We have covered the topics. So one particular series is over. Now we are starting with the next series called the Victory series. And what are we covering in this Victory series, everyone? The Victory series is basically taken up with a specific purpose of letting you know with the blend of the topic as well, right? So now I'll be looking forward towards that particular area. ठीक है? Done, everyone. So first of all, please share this special session, as well as look forward towards the classes further. And if in case you have any doubts, kindly write about the same in the comment section. We're always reading those sections as well. Now, let's move on towards the specific area, everyone. We are officially starting with our Victory series today. The first topic, since we are earlier, I'm sorry, we are earlier done with the specific area of management with the module A. I've started with the module A itself. So let's start with the specific module A. Okay, module A, first question. What is the primary role of leadership in directing, everyone? Who's a leader? Leader is that specific person who can influence the organization, right? Isn't it, everyone? Leader is the person who can influence the organization. Isn't it? So, how do we specify this specific area? Okay, now let's move on. What is the primary role of leadership in directing? Providing incentives for performing, speeding up communication flow, influencing actions to meet organizational objectives, or monitoring and supervising work activities. Primary role of directing is leading is basically to influence the people, to make sure that they work properly towards the goals of the organization, because obviously you want them to be united with the organization and you want them to be with the organization sync as well, you know. So in this case, can we say that leadership is basically one of the elements of directing where we influence the other party, right? What is the backbone of effective managerial performance according to the specific chapter? Motivation, leadership, communication, or supervision? Effective managerial performance. What's going to be the answer? Okay, when we talk about the backbone of effective managerial performance, it is always communication. First of all, till the time the goals are not clearly specified, how will we join? How will we get into the struggle of the organization? How will we understand that how do we do the things? You know, it's not easy to do all that, right? Whenever we are working for the organization, it is super important that we make sure that the things are being done in a proper manner. And till the time we don't tell them how to do that thing, how will we achieve the goals? To achieve the goals, we'll have to make sure that the things are being done in a proper manner, right? So the basic purpose is always only and only one thing, that is to communicate the goals properly. If people know the goals properly, they can definitely do a better work. Done? Next question. What is the primary objective of controlling everyone? Controlling is one of the it is actually the last step of managerial process, but yet it is a continuous process. So this particular step leads to another cycle. What is the primary goal of controlling? Providing incentives for performing, ensuring actions align with the organization goals, influence actions to meet organizational objectives, or speeding up the communication flow. One particular thing which controlling always does, na, it is always reminding you where do you stand. You'll always find this, na? You'll always find that whenever we are working upon these areas, it is always we are always looking forward towards clarity, aren't we? So in this case, one particular thing that will always change is that when we talk about controlling builds up the pressure on the organization to make sure that we are achieving the goals in time, right? So providing incentives for the performing, no. Ensuring actions align, that is one point. Because controlling says that whatever the plan said, I hope things are done in that specific manner itself. We are not running away from it. That is plan and control, everyone. Got the idea? Chaliye, now let's move on. Ensuring actions being aligned to the organization goals. Okay, we are always looking forward towards the area of plans, and we are making sure that everything goes as per the plan. Okay, what is highlighted as one of the key roles of management in achieving the organizational objectives? Ensuring profitability, facilitating coordination among departments, and production planning or market research. What's going to be the answer? Okay, when we talk about the key roles of achieving the organization goals, it is always one of the basic areas for ensuring of the coordination among various departments. If the goals are not united or integrated, what will happen? People will have their internal grudges. People will start working in a certain manner which is not good for them altogether. Right? It is super important to be a part of it. So in this case, the correct answer is facilitating coordination among the departments. What is emphasized as one of the ways management contributes to improved functioning or to the business? Creating a chaotic environment, lowering motivation levels, reducing coordination, increasing motivation levels. What is emphasized as one of the ways of management? See, how do you manage? Does the management work upon emphasizing its work in a proper manner? See, management has to make sure that the goals are being achieved. So how do they make sure about it? It talks about the emphasizing, matlab, how do we focus upon the goals of it? So when we talk about it, see, emphasizing for the specific things and all, how do we look forward to it, everyone? The best way is to as one of the ways contributes. If people are emphasizing upon the goals, they feel motivated ki acha nahi, this is the goal. It keeps on reminding the people, banging in their heads ki nahi, we want to achieve the goals of the organization, we want to keep on growing. That is covered here, right? That is increasing the motivation levels. How does the effective management contribute to problem solving? Effective management. Effective management plays a very important role. Why does it play a very important role? Effective management means there's a clarity. This is what I have to do. This is what I can outrightly say no to. And this is the most important and the profitable area for the business. And this is the area where we do not need to work upon. That's what we decide, isn't it? So in this case, can we say that we work in a certain manner? Right? So by ignoring the problems, by exacerbating the problems, or by supporting employees to solve the problems, by creating problems. See, creating problems is definitely out of it. Effective management contributes towards supporting the employees. They are not solving the problems on their own. They want the employees to be, you can say, they weaponed enough, or they should be capable enough. They don't need anybody else to do the work for them. The problem solving thing is not only dependent upon the employees, it is basically their work as well. Okay, so in this case, next point is Maslow's need hierarchy theory suggests about the influence of unsatisfied need on behavior. Only satisfied needs influence behavior, only psychological needs, only the physiological needs, or the unsatisfied or satisfied and unsatisfied. When we talk about Maslow's need hierarchy theory, what do you mean by this? Maslow's need hierarchy theory clearly means one thing. First of all, we have a dire need which we want to fulfill. Since we want to fulfill a specific need, then we always look forward towards the area of finishing our reaching our goals. First of all, we have an unsatisfied need. We try to achieve it, isn't it? When we try to achieve a specific area, that is covered in this. So in this case, one particular thing that happens is we look forward towards Maslow's theory suggests about, first of all, we have an unsatisfied need, then it becomes satisfied. How? Because the goals are achieved through one thing, that is, we cover it through if I'm feeling hungry, I fulfill my hunger. Maslow's theory clearly states about one thing, everyone. It states that, see, first of all, we have a stress. We try to cope up that with that stress by uh, by fulfilling that need. Once the need is fulfilled, will it really bother me anymore? I was feeling hungry. I ate food. Now, even if you'll keep food in front of me, I am not a foodie. I cannot overeat. So what will I do? I'll be like, okay, this is not making me hungry anymore. So technically, only the unsatisfied needs influence behavior, right? Only the ones which are unsatisfied will affect a particular person to that extent. According to Maslow's theory, at what point does a person advance to the next level of needs? Everyone, when we are done with one set of needs, only then we might go to the next level. If the previous needs are not fulfilled now, I'll never go to the next one. Isn't it? That's one particular thing that we look forward towards clarity. When the lower level need is fully satisfied, when the lower level need is minimally satisfied, when higher level need is satisfied, or higher level is minimally satisfied. Lower level is done. But when you see the higher is not achieved yet, I want to achieve it. So if I want to achieve it, that is what I look forward to. So when the lower level need is minimally satisfied, that is we look forward towards the higher level. है ना? Done? There is, what did McGregor's Theory X propose about human behavior? Humans love to work and require little supervision. Humans are inherently lazy and require close supervision. There are two theories, Theory X and Theory Y. Humans only work when they feel motivated. Humans prefer working individually rather than in teams. Humans love to work and require little supervision. No. Theory X is like a no, and Y is like a yes. You give work to this person, he's always dissatisfied. This person is always ready. He's self disciplined. He strongly believes that he can do his work on his own. This person is always lacking behind it. So, this person is, humans are inherently lazy and they require close supervision kind of person. The correct answer is B. Done? According to the theory X assumptions, what is the attitude of average human beings towards organizational needs? They actively support organizational needs, they are indifferent, they are self-centered and indifferent to organizational needs, or highly motivated. They are never highly motivated. They are very negative towards the organization. Theory X states that till the time you don't really beat a person to that extent that nahi, your work has to be done, your work has to be done, you keep on pressurizing them, you give them more work. Till that time, he doesn't really work upon that particular thing at all. So technically, they have to be they have to be motivated further. They have to be improved further in these things. Only then they can grow further, right? Done, everyone? Chaliye. Now, the next question. Acha, we're looking forward to answer. They're self-centered people. They're just not interested. That is why the basic reason is that you have to keep on poking them that you are supposed to do the work. You have to put them under punishments. You have to put them under rewards and strictness, because ultimately positivities are kept less according to theory X. These people are to be tamed properly. That is what the theory says, that the people are never interested in work. Since they are never interested in work, you have to keep on pushing them, right? According to theory Y assumption, what role does the proper motivation play? Proper motivation, it has no impact on employee behavior. It can lead to positive satisfaction. It leads to demotivation. It is irrelevant. See, when we talk about this area, it has no impact. Nahi. Theory why plays a very important role. It is a very positive impact because these people are always looking forward to works and they are ready to for everything for the organization. That is where it clearly says it can lead to positive satisfaction. These people are open to learning. They want to keep on working. Their growth is definitely very important, right? These people are always, I'm sorry, motivated enough कि नहीं, I want to work further. That is covered in their working altogether. Then what is the main distinguishing factor between motivation factors, hygiene, according to Herzberg's two-factor theory? Motivation factor results in job satisfaction, motivation factor in job dissatisfaction, while hygiene factors result in job satisfaction. Acha, before I move forward, there are two factors. The two factors says one thing will motivate a person and one particular thing is necessity. If they are not there, people will feel dissatisfied. But if they are there, according to them, this is required in any case. Motivation factors are intrinsic, hygiene are extrinsic. Motivation are related to salary, hygiene are related to job security. If I work for Adda 24/7, if someone tells me you get clean water in Adda 24/7, pata hai, I'll be like, clean water is my necessity. We speak all through the day. If the organization is not providing us water, how will we work? Someone says that pata hai, Adda 24/7 has a very good lighting, so teachers don't really have to worry about the reading part or regarding the studio problems. I'll say this is one of the necessities too. But someone says Adda 24/7 provides career advancement opportunities. Someone says they have job security. Someone says this organization is always looking forward towards the growth of its employees. है ना? This will motivate me कि अच्छा, this organization is really helping me. My organization is ready to put more efforts on me, so I have to put more efforts as well. Clean water is my necessity. If it is not there, I might complain about it. Even though they are giving me everything, if I do not have clean water to drink, how will I go to the organization? So this is my necessity. I'm sorry, but this is my motivation. That okay, this is the reason I want to stay in Adda. And this is the reason which is necessity. Okay? They call these hygiene factors and these are motivation factors. That is, motivation factors result in job satisfaction while hygiene factors result in job dissatisfaction when they are absent. Presence of clean water will never motivate me, but absence of clean water is going to demotivate me, right? Basic but a very interesting area. Okay, so everyone, hello everyone, good afternoon, how are we? Okay, so today I'm going to talk about ABFM further. As I told you, the first series was over, which was a blend of all the chapters individually. Matlab, we covered all the entire modules, but with chapter wise sequence. Matlab, now if you want to study each and every chapter separately, you have got it. Now, since I've covered that part, what do we do next? Obviously, it is of no use to cover it up individually again. So I've decided that now I'll be looking forward to what's the next level. The next level is let's understand the area of ABFM when it's all blended in. Matlab, not individual chapters, of course. We are covering up with the entire chapters together. Is it really important? Indeed, it is very important, right? If it wouldn't have been, then it is going to affect us, isn't it? Right? How does it affect us? Because in the examination, there are not going to be individual chapters. We need to understand when all the chapters come up together, how does it look like? Okay, along with this now, one more thing everyone, please share this session, subscribe to our channel as well. Along with this, share this session and don't forget to like it. Okay, now we have talked about the basics, we have talked about what to do with this particular session. Now comes the next point. We're talking about the victory series, of course. So in the victory series, we're covering up the entire area of management. How do we learn about the basics of it and XYZ things, है ना? How do we work upon it, everyone? Okay, now comes the first part. Let's see and understand this point. This point clearly says that what distinguish derivatives plans from the primary plans in the planning process. Matlab, what distinguishes derivative plans? Derivative plans are basically the plans which we derive, isn't it? We derive it further. While when I'm talking about the area of individual plans or the primary plans, these are the basics that we prepare for a business, isn't it? The derivative plans are less detailed, or derivatives are secondary plans, or derivatives are short-term goals, or derivative plans are formulated. Oopsie, it's all done. Formulated before primary plans. See, as I told you, derivative matlab derived plans. If these are derived plans, then of course we have to put it that way. Derived plans have to go there, है ना? So in this case, the correct answer is actually these are plans which are secondary to the primary plans. Right? The next point. What problem does the planning aim to address regardless future tasks? Matlab, there are certain problems with planning. See, the point is if we plan things properly, it becomes easier. But what's the issue there? Overlapping and wasteful activities, lack of decision making, unnecessary risk taking, or duplication of efforts. One particular thing that the problem that planning aim to address in future tasks. पता है, I said I'll be doing the task and you said no, even I want to do this task. Both of us are fighting for it for no reason. मतलब we can actually split it up as well, but we are not in the planning right now. No, we're just fighting over it. So what will happen? You end up doing it, I end up doing it, and there's one task which nobody even knows about. So what's the fun of it? So in this case, overlapping and wasteful activities are the first and the foremost things that planning says I will eliminate. है ना? Okay, everyone, what does the term SMART stand for in context with goal setting? This particular question was also asked in, I think, SEBI grade A examination as well. Everyone? Specific, measured, achieved, relevant, timely. Achieved, matlab we are assuming that we have already achieved the task. Then what's the fun? Then specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, timely, strategic, measured, aligned, result oriented, timely, structured, monitored, attainable, reviewed, and time bound. What's going to be the correct answer? It is specific because obviously it has to be the one which is very specific in nature. If it's not specific, then what's the fun of it? Isn't it, everyone? Then the next point is measured. Measured, they are not, they has to be measured as well. Matlab measurable. If I really ask you whether you are able to achieve it or not, you have to look forward to it, whether it is achievable or not. है ना? Then achievable is basically you can achieve it or not. That's another level. Then we have realistic. What do we say by realistic, everyone? Realistic is basically, I said ki nahi, I think within no time we'll be having million rupees in the hand. That is not a realistic goal. You know, we can make goals, but we have to be more realistic about it. Then we have timely. Yeah, the one part that is required is the timeliness of the transactions, because if they're not timely, then people are gonna be confused about when to achieve the goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. All these things have to come up together. You know. Acha, this is one part. Then the next point that comes is next question. What do you mean by MBO? Management by objectives. पता है, in life sometimes we just think कि let's just start, go with the flow because something will come up. But what if we are supposed to first think about how to achieve the goals and grow? Why has management by objectives become fashionable in recent times? MBO really puts down or lays down the foundation of objectives. कि अच्छा, this is objective, everyone. Objective matlab you decide a particular aim to achieve. Basically, you develop a specific area. This is what we want to achieve, and then we find the ways to achieve it further, isn't it? Right? First of all, there's a clarity in the main aim. Where do you want to go in the upcoming future? Does it due to its outdated principles, or due to the need for managing the business goals, or because it restricts employee growth, or because it emphasizes rigid hierarchies? I think I would go for one particular thing that we can talk about is MBO. MBO doesn't believe in rigid hierarchies. It is something which cannot restrict an employee from growth. Why? Because it is giving the clarity. I think the basic thing that we would do is due to the need for managing business goals. You need to have goals when you want to achieve something. You cannot just start with your day and see, think about it. I just think about, I have classes today, but there's no aim. I need to have an aim, isn't it? So if I have an aim, I can achieve the aim. Okay, here comes the next part. Who coined the term MBO? MBO is specified in our book as well, everyone. How do we specify it? Henry Ford, Peter F. Drucker, or uh, Frederick Winslow Taylor, or Elton Mayo? James Carter gave this particular part, everyone. In terms of James Carter, no? He gave it to them in terms of the learning that James Carter utilized it in the US area. They utilized this particular part, and this was used first in US. And then when we talk about this specific part, how does it work? It was coined by Peter F. Drucker, but it was used in the US government for the first time. Yeah, so I would say that is Peter F. Drucker. Done, everybody? Okay, so let's move on to the next point. What is the primary purpose of MBO, everyone? What's that primary purpose of MBO? To micromanage employees, or to establish clear goals and parameters to limit employee autonomy. So this one particular thing is definitely not there. If you limit their autonomy, what will happen? They will not be able to grow further. Enforce strict rules and regulations. Indeed, we are never looking forward towards enforcing the strict rules, because if you add up a lot of strict rules, then you will find people end up being irritated with their work profile. This is what will I do with this particular job profile? They are so strict and this hampers my growth altogether. So people really have problems with these kind of standards, and there's nothing wrong with it. If you put a lot of restrictions on anybody, they cannot find the growth. So it's done. In this case, the answer is to establish clear goals. Those clear goals are absolutely important, and they should be done as early as possible. Right? Okay. Now let's move on. What is the specific limitation of MBO, everyone? Obviously, if it has positive, it would be having some negatives as well. It effectively addresses the cultural aspects of an organization. Yeah, it does. It affects it. You know? The second part is the goals and targets may overshadow other important aspects like employee participation. It places equal emphasis on goal setting and operational issues. Or MBO considers the external environment. See, MBO is not externally thing. You don't look at other people. You look at yourself. You look at your organization. You look at how you work. है ना? So how does it work now? It effectively addresses the cultural aspects. And cultural aspects is not the point. It has never been the point. Goals and targets may overshadow other important aspects. You have to make up the goals. So there is no point. So, but they're talking about the limitation of it, na? It doesn't really work upon the extensively on external environment at all. Addressing is basically A is a positive point. So I think I'll go with B or C. I'll go with B actually, because C is also a positive point. There's only one point that is wrong. That is B here. Because na pata hai, sometimes we just get so blinded with our goals, we don't really look at the realities of anything. What do you think? Right? That's one part which is very, very important for everyone. है ना? So the point is, if we have too much of goal focus, then what will happen? Too much of goal focus really affects us. And not only badly, but very badly. Now comes the next point. Which of the following statements about MBO is true? Managers focus on operational issues. MBO system all management concerns comprehensively. Over dependence on MBO can lead to overlooking or important issues, and MBO considers sex on the environment. I think the answer is actually C in this case, because you over depend. This was the goal and we are not going to change the goal. The particular person is going to be, Hare, give a break, because you cannot just blindly think about all these things, na? Everyone, isn't it? One particular thing is clear. MBO is good, but you cannot just rely only on the MBO, na? Okay, now moving on to the next point. What does the term acronym PESTLE, or it is also called PESTLE, stands for in terms of the environment analysis? What do you mean by the term PESTLE? Everybody? PESTLE. Is it political, economical, social, technological, legal, and environmental factors, or profit efficiency, sales time, labor efficiency, people, environment, stakeholders, trends, laws, economics, or production employee strategy? Then technology, law, and environment. When we talk about PESLE, it says P for political, E for economical, S for social, T for technological, L for legal, E for environmental. The correct answer is A, everyone. How do we say this, everyone? So in this case, what do we do? पता है, if I was studying about war, for example, Russia-Ukraine war, or you can say the Israel-Syria war, है ना? So if we talk about Israel-Palestine war, actually, sorry. So we are trying to explain that particular part. It has a political impact. Yes, every country has been asked to choose their sides. That is a political part. Then is economical. The entire both the countries are putting in the entire money in terms of what weapons, war, putting people onto this particular life online. Social, it is disrupted. Demographic situation is bad. Women are dying, children are dying. There are so many things which are happening on both the sides, right? Technological, you are putting everything in terms of technology only in one particular part, nothing else, huh? Then comes the next part, legal. Obviously, a few part is legal, a few part is illegal. International and national level have been talking about the entire things, you know. And then environmental factors, with all these wars and all going on, how will we work, isn't it? So in this case, all these things are super important to understand the war area, because if we don't understand what happens in the war, why would people stop going for the wars and all? But again, at the same time, there's nothing that you can do. Sometimes it is a part of defense, sometimes it's a part of looking forward towards survival. So anything can happen, right? Okay. Which factor of Pestle analysis focuses on stability of political environment and government intervention? See, we're talking about the political environment and also talking about government intervention. Government intervention really affects the work because obviously, if when the government is intervening a lot in your working, what will happen? Nothing. You will not be able to work properly. है ना? The answer is political factors. It's an easy question. Huh? They could have given it in a different manner. So I think we look forward to something else. चलिए. Then let's end this particular session with this particular point. No, I think we can go for another question. We're still left with a few more questions, so let's continue further. Which aspect of socio cultural factors influences consumer behavior in banking? पता है social and culture leisure time activities we don't go to the bank for the leisure time. Of course, I think nobody's interested in standing in the queues and looking at other people and looking at your balances and all. It's just not fun. Language preferences, is it a socio-cultural part which influences consumer behavior in the banking area? Yeah, it does, up to an extent, isn't it? Matlab, for example, a Punjabi would be talking in a different manner and they have a different accent as well. A particular Haryanvi person would be talking in their accent and their way of working would be different. While if you talk about the people who are living in Maharashtra, the people who are Keralite, for all the people who are in different areas of the country would be talking about it in a different manner altogether, right? Attitudes towards consumerism, I think this particular part is dependent upon how educated you are, to be very honest. If you're more educated, then your banking side, your awareness towards the banking area would be more. You would be really like, Acha, tell me more about the particular feature so that I don't bother you again. Otherwise, the people who are absolutely have no idea about it, they might be sitting with the bankers for a longer period and would be talking about their issues. Actually, I've seen people getting stuck in their lives and bankers helping them out in terms of their basic things to get their ATMs, to get their Aadhaar card connected with those. There are elderly people who face problems. They have enough money, but they don't know how to manage it. And bankers, in some areas, I think I've seen it in one of the branches of SBI only. There was a specific banker who was literally helping elderly people in terms of their working. He was training them how to use it. I think two, three elderly people literally went to him because he was so generous towards all these people and patient. Again, one particular thing is patience, which is required when you're dealing with the elders. You know? So that's the point. The answer is attitude towards consumerism. So if the banks have a good relationship with the people now, automatically people come to them. People would love to come to them just because of this specific reason. Ki their attitude towards consumerism is very opened up. Now that person doesn't have to be anybody. He's just a banker who really knows his work well. And I think I personally have a respect for the specific banker whom I met there because I think Sir had spent more than around 1 hour, I would say, on helping out a specific person who had multiple bank accounts. Some of were dormant and some had problems, and he had started taking care of himself recently because his kids had left because they had to go somewhere. So he listened to their entire personal story along with the work while also attending us because we were also there and asking him what to do regarding the KYC and everything else. So technically, n number of people were standing around him. He was listening to the personal story of that particular person as well as doing the work. So hats off. You really do a hard work. What role do technological factors play in shaping in the business landscape? They influence political stability, they impact exchange rates, they change the nature of the opportunities and threats, or they determine growth rates. Technological factors play a very important role. One of the basic things that they do is that uh, they change the nature of opportunities and threats. Now, matlab earlier, if I used to go to bank and get the work done, their worrying area was different. They would see, acha, am I the same person if anybody else is coming to the bank and trying to take the money out? Now the problem is not that. Now the point is if anybody else is logging into my account, if my account is safe enough or not, if the transfer of the money is being done in a safer manner or not. The government is basically looking into this matter, and then security is a part of the banking area, which is extremely important because the money of the country is involved in it. है ना? Public money is super important there. Acha, next point up. How does organizing contribute to efficiency in administration? Organizing plays a very important role by increasing duplication of labor, by collapsing unrelated jobs into a single area of expertise, by reducing coordination among the departments, or by creating misunderstandings. So, how does organizing contribute to efficiency? Organizing plays a very important role. If I tell you, pata hai, I have classes today. Pata hai, 1, 2, 3, 4, I just keep on blabbering. These are the classes. After a moment you will be like, ma'am, you need to stop, you need to just organize your work. I said, how? I'll just say ki class at this time, this time, this time, this time. Acha, sorted. You have a gap at this point, you do the work. मतलब see, this is a clarity between us ना कि हाँ इस time पे हम लोग काम कर लेंगे. That is a part of it. That means by collapsing unrelated jobs into one single area of expertise. So that is one particular thing that we need to make sure we have an efficiency in administration. The things which are similar can be kept on one side, the things which are not can be kept on another. Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to Office Adda 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar and I'm with you with the area of ABFM, Accounting and Financial Management for Bankers. As you already know, I've covered each and every chapter of the Macmillan Group or Macmillan book already. That means the entire syllabus is done once. Now what am I dealing with? Let's do a little revision today of all the specific chapters that we have covered till date. So let's check it out further. Before I proceed further, everyone, please like this particular session and share it among your peers as well. Your encouragement plays a very important role in keep going. So let's begin, everyone, and continue further. We are having our revision session. Acha, before I proceed further, everyone, do you know our sale is going on? It is ending soon, and on CIB Mahapack matlab it includes bilingual English medium, all the 4 subjects plus even all the 5 optionals. That means you can watch any of those optionals and choose wisely what you're looking forward to in your classes, right? And the same time, this will also include our crash courses and numerical courses, whatever we are introducing for your practice. So right, so check it out on our website or in our app for further details, and hurry up, the time is ticking away. 80% discount is there if you download the app, and 79 if you are using website. So go ahead and download the app right away to get that 1% extra as well. Use the code Y541 to get the maximum discount. Okay, okay everyone, let's continue further. Here comes the first question. We were dealing with SPAC in the last class. So what's the first question, everyone? Here comes the first question. What is the purpose of forward purchase agreement in context of SPAC? That is special purpose acquisition companies. To establish the SPAC charter and registration rights, to outline the terms of IPO agreements, to commit affiliates or institutional investors to purchase equity needed for the DSPAC transaction, or to specify the parameters for the warrant agreement. The correct answer in this case is C, everyone. We are trying to do this so that we can commit affiliates, we can have affiliations and institutional investors to purchase equity. We are looking forward towards for the DSPAC transaction. That means we are bidding goodbye to the SPAC. Who must approve the changes to the conditions of the warrant agreement, everyone? SPAC team, or the transfer agent, 50% of the warrant holders or institutional investors. We're looking at the warrant agreement, everyone. Who are the people who are required to do this? The correct answer in this case is 50% of the warrant holders. They are required to do this, right? Okay, next question. What is the purpose of the warrant agreement in an SPAC? To outline the terms of IPO agreements, to specify the parameters of security purchase agreement, to commit affiliates and institutional investors to purchase needed in terms of DSPAC, or to define the conditions of issuance and exercise warrants. Basically, when we're talking about warrant agreements, it is done to define the conditions for issuance and exercise of warrants. The correct answer is D, everyone. What has led to a drop in new SPAC filings in the second quarter of 2021 compared to the first quarter? A data-based question. Decreased regulatory oversight, poor market performance, or increased disclosure norms, or lack of interest. See, basically when you see a drop now, that is because they have included a lot of disclosure programs. That has made people very troublesome. So there is an increase of disclosure norms, which creates all the troubles. That is the reason that SPAC is going down now. Next question. Acha everyone, the EBIT is nil. What is the degree of operating leverage? 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, or undefined? Okay, operating leverage is basically contrary divided by EBIT. है ना? If we take about this, anything divided by 0 means infinity, isn't it? Infinity is not there. So that means, can we say in this case, if your contribution EBIT, the organization is not having anything before interest as well as tax, so it is basically going to be in loss the moment it has interest, isn't it? So that is contrary divided by EBIT is equal to, this will turn out to be infinity. Done? Done, everyone? चलिए, then let's move on to the next question. पता है, this is super important to understand these kind of questions, because these questions are really somewhat tricky, I would say, है ना? Okay, now let's move on, everyone. The answer is undefined. Which among the following are correct, appropriate merits of debentures? No restrictive covenants in the trust deed. वैसे ना restrictive covenants are basically the restrictions that people put because we take a certain loan from them. They might be very choosy in terms of how you use the money. They can be very cumbersome about it. कि नहीं, you shouldn't use the money like this. They might be panicky, है ना? Then low cost and tax deductibility in interest rate. This is a plus point. You can cry in front of the income tax department that, oh, I'm paying interest. That is really bad. I have to pay interest. You have to just increase that part. That, but I have to pay interest. That really hurts the organization, isn't it? Then the next point that comes here is no dilution of control. Again, we are not giving equity. So if we are not giving up on our equity, at least we are not facing a problem there, right? And no dilution of control. Done. Enjoy preferential game. That is true. The moment the organization dies, सबसे पहले the government will come and say pay your taxes. All the liabilities have to be paid off, which are external. And debenture holders are basically lenders of the organization. So they will be paid first. So technically, this is a disadvantage. And rest everything else is an advantage. So can I say the answer is 2, 3 and 4? The correct answer should be C. Done? Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following benefits is or are derived from the use of AI, everyone? Shortens the amount of time that is required to find a solution, contributes to provision of safety, having a mental capacity to reason makes the process go more smoothly. Only 1 and 2, only 1 and 3, only 2 and 3, or 1, 2 and 3, everyone. What's the correct answer? What's going to be the answer? The answer is D. 1, 2 and 3. All are basically the benefits that you derive from AI. Artificial intelligence plays a very important role in our lives now. Next question, everyone. Which among the following comparison between commercial benefit analysis and social cost benefit analysis is incorrect? CBA is quantitative, whereas SCBA cannot be quantitative. CBA requires limited range of efforts. SCBA requires an unlimited range of efforts. CBA includes LM approach, while SCBA includes UNIDO approach. Is it 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, or 1, 2 and 3? What's the correct answer, everyone? It is 1 and 3. Done? What is the corporate risk analysis? It is the evaluation of the impact of new project of the firm's cash flows. It is the evaluation of impact of new project of the firm's stock price, evaluation of the impact of new project on the firm's sales, or evaluation of the impact of new project in the marketing strategy. What's going to be the answer, everyone? When we talk about corporate risk analysis, now this is the analysis that you need to do in terms of the impact of new projects. How are new projects impacting your organization further? है ना? What's going to be the answer then? The correct answer is actually A. Done? That is, it is the evaluation of the impact of new projects in the firm's new cash flows. Firm's cash flows. मतलब any project which is affecting the organization, it's a corporate level thing. Okay, everybody, if you haven't looked at our courses yet, kindly go ahead and use the code Y541, everyone, and look forward towards our courses. The blooming deals is going on, 80% discount on all our courses and double validity plus 80% on all our Mahapacks, everyone, for JIB and CIB. So if you're planning to purchase it, utilize the specific code number and get the maximum discount. As in the Mahapack, you are getting everything. Everything means the paid classes of the entire area of all the 4 subjects compulsory, and even all the 5 optional as well. Matlab choose wisely when it comes to your specific area of your courses there. So if you are planning to look forward to it, then hurry up, because this is available for a very limited period of time. Double validity is going on. Matlab if you're buying it for 6 months, you get for 12-month time. Ample of time to prepare for this particular content in a proper manner, and this also includes the revision course as well. So if you are planning to do it, then hurry up and check it out on our website or in our app for further details, everyone. Okay, here comes the next question. What are some of the barriers that investors may face in IPI, everyone? It language barrier in terms of the obtaining reliable information, higher risk due to economic events, price controls imposed by foreign countries. Only 1 and 2, only 1 and 3, 2 and 3, or 1, 2 and 3. What's going to be the answer accordingly? The answer is D. 1, 2, as well as 3, everyone. The answer is D. Done? Here comes the next question. Done, everyone? Chali. Now let's move on to the question there. What do you mean by the cost approach? Cost approach in business valuation. Acha, this is based upon method of valuing a company's based on value of its asset, method of valuing a company based on expected future cash earnings or cash flows, a method of or valuing the company based on recent transactions, prices of comparable assets, the method of valuing a company based on its size, quantity, quality, and other characteristics of the asset being valued. See, cost approaches to record the things at the book value, isn't it? Matlab, at what value we are recording those books. So technically, can we say this is a method of valuing the only the specific assets of the organization? We are not doing anything, but we are just trying to find out the value of the assets of the organization, right? A method of valuing a company based on value of its assets. Acha, what are the elements of the cost of capital, cost in capital budgeting? Land, plant, labor, material investment, land, plant, labor, material engagement in WC or working capital, land, plant, labor, material or marketing, land, plant, labor, material or maintenance. What's the correct answer, everyone? We're talking about capital budgeting now. Capital budgeting is a decision where we are going to decide whether we want to purchase a specific machinery or not. है ना? So in this case, the right answer is land, plant, labor, material, as well as engagement in terms of working capital. Because if you buy a new machinery, obviously any machinery will require its maintenance charges as well. So you have to incur the maintenance charges as well. So if you have to incur that way, then you have to be very clear about it. Land, plant, labor, material, and engagement of working capital. Done. Next question. Under what information must the corporation provide to the stockholders of the largest uh, target business or in SPSE merger? Audited financial statements, comprehensive disclosures, or terms of proposed business combination? What they should tell everyone? See, the point is, if you are having a major merger, na, it's better you have all these things. You have audited financial statements, you have proper documents, and also terms for proposed business combination. So I think I'll go for all these three together rather than choosing between any one of them.